Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. It's Thursday, March 25th, 2021. And we begin with an epic courtroom showdown involving one of the world's most popular video games and the world's biggest tech company. Epic Games, which owns Fortnite, has been in a legal battle with Apple for over a year now. The game maker didn't want to have to pay the 30% fee Apple charged for Fortnite purchases in the App Store and found a way around it. Apple promptly gave Epic the boot, and Epic turned around and sued Apple for blocking competition. The CEOs of both companies and other top executives are now expected to testify when the trial begins as early as May 3rd. A painting of the world's newest superhero has set a new record for a famous street artist and brought in millions for health organizations all over Great Britain. The drawing by Banksy shows a boy holding a toy Red Cross nurse wearing a cape and face mask, while in a nearby basket, Batman and Spider-Man sit forgotten. Called Game Changer, it was originally given to a hospital in southern England with a note from the artist saying, "Thanks for all you're doing. I hope this brightens up the place a bit, even if it's only black and white." The hospital now has a replica of the drawing on display, while the original sold for over £16 million, or $23 million US. Animal shelters can be pretty crowded with dogs looking for forever homes, and older dogs or ones with disabilities often get overlooked. So a 14-year-old from Newark, New Jersey has made it his mission to help this group stand out from the pack in the most adorable fashion. Darius Brown's sister taught him to sew when he was just 8, and his first project, making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bow tie for himself, was a hit, so that became his specialty. And when the teen heard about many family pets left homeless after a hurricane a few years ago, he decided to help get them adopted by upping their Adoption Day look with a bow tie. Shelter directors acknowledge Darius's darling donations have made a huge difference. His goal now is to deliver bow ties to an animal shelter in every state, and a GoFundMe campaign is helping cover the cost of his supplies. One of the largest floating solar farms in the world is now open for business. It's in the waters off of Singapore, the tiny city-state near the equator in Southeast Asia. This installation will produce enough energy to power up to 1,500 homes for a year, but it takes up a lot of space on the water. It's the size of 7 giant soccer fields with over 13,000 panels, and in land-scarce Singapore, having it offshore is a huge advantage. The Straits Times reports there were a lot of challenges during construction, including the unpredictable nature of the open sea, the need to avoid busy shipping lanes, and a bunch of barnacles in the water. Also, a lot of workers couldn't show up in the last year due to pandemic restrictions. But the project is now complete and should be a big help in reducing carbon emission to ease global warming. To solve a Rubik's Cube, so each side is all one color, can take most people days, if not weeks. But one super speed cuber has just set a new record, solving not one, not two, but 3 Rubik's Cubes at the same time in 1 minute and 29.97 seconds. Atharva R. Bhatt of Bangalore, India, who is only 8 years old, used his hands and feet to accomplish the task and says he started seriously training for this challenge early last year after his school went online. He's always enjoyed puzzles and says he believes that loving what you do makes training or working towards achieving your goal easier. Atharva's record was validated by Guinness World Record officials last week, but he's already working on his next goal, completing the 3-cube challenge in less than a minute. That's it for KidNuz. Now, the KidNuz quiz. What 2 companies are gearing up for an epic courtroom showdown? Apple and Epic Games, which owns Fortnite. What toy is being held in the painting Game Changer that raised millions for hospitals? A Red Cross nurse wearing a cape and a face mask. What is a teenage boy making to help shelter dogs get adopted? bow ties. How long did it take an 8-year-old to solve 3 Rubik's Cubes? 1 minute, 29.97 seconds. In one for the road. A road in Michigan is being closed every night for the next month to help out some local residents, specifically blue-spotted salamanders. The little creatures spend the cold, snowy winters underground, but every spring they make their way to nearby pools in the dark to mate and lay their eggs. The only way to get there is across the only road in Marquette's Presque Isle Park. And to make sure they make the journey safely, local officials have decided to shut down the road in the overnight hours for the second year in a row. A few residents grumbled about the inconvenience, but many have come out with flashlights to see the blue-spotted salamanders' nocturnal parade. Before we go, some KidNuz shout-outs to our amazing teachers and their students, starting with Mrs. Gallus at Oswegatchie in Waterford, Connecticut, Miss Shull at Van Wert Elementary in Van Wert, Ohio, Miss Barzini's class who love to log in and hear KidNuz at Zablocki Elementary in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Mrs. Lewis at Blum School in Blum, Texas, and Mr. Chapman at Greater Heights Academy in Flint, Michigan. Thanks for listening, everyone. It really helps if you rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.